Hermitcraft Season 10 has started. I've been loving the content the Hermits have been producing, but there's one issue. It's in survival. What they build takes way too long, and I am not a patient man. I don't like waiting a year to build something, which is why I don't usually play in survival. But I really want to see these builds, so instead of waiting for them to come out, no, we're going to do something better. Something that will cost me hours and hours of my life that I can't get back, that I could just have saved through patience. But you know what? It'll be worth it. Today we're going to be building Impulse's and B-Dub's Hermitcraft bases, which, if you didn't know, is a huge cyberpunk city. Now, I don't have the attention span to build the giant area, so instead we're just going to be building a smaller city. Still ginormous and big and super tall and cool, but maybe not 200 by 200, because this project took me hours and hours and hours. Please subscribe, or click the like button down below and leave a comment. Whatever you want, do something to help the channel out. It would be much appreciated. Go do it now. I see you not doing it. Why aren't you doing it? Click the like button. Subscribe. Okay, we're back with another time-lapse recording because you guys seem to like the last one. We're gonna build up a giant eye because nothing screams Impulse more than branding with his first initial on it. We're even gonna throw in his color scheme. We're gonna make it dark gray because black doesn't look super great, and then we're gonna throw in a splash of yellow, and then finally we finish off the top of the eye and make it look all complete and nice. Impulse loves branding. All of his big bases have a giant eye in them, and so I figured since he's building a cyberpunk city, the only thing that could really scream Impulse as much is if it was a giant eye, but it's missing the cyberpunk details, the things that really make it look cyberpunk. So I'm going to add a bunch of like fake technical bits with little redstone thingamajiggers. Okay, so I've got some examples of what I want it to look like. We have these little like piping bits over here, with a little panel over here with some buttons to show like rivets. Over here we have some lights. There are end rods and some buttons. I don't really know what those are supposed to be. And then we have like these weird little vent things and some panels over here. It's meant to be viewed from mostly far away, and I'm using these wools and concrete powder with the concrete sort of highlight where things are. So like right over there where those vents are, I used a bunch of wool and concrete around it to show where the corners are. Around these little piping, I put yellow concrete powder and yellow wool in a gradient to sort of show where these points of interest are to draw your eye towards it. And then behind the lights to make them shine brighter, like they're going to shine bright at night, but in the day to show that they're bright, I put some yellow wool. Why don't we hop into a time lapse? I think that's going to be the best way to show some of it. I'll show you some of the details at the end and how I did them. Build away, me. Okay, thank you, in-person me. To start off the detailing, we added in a holographic sign with the letter I on it, and then we moved on to this bay door. And then I started texturing the bottom of it to give it some details. We even throw in some end rods because cyberpunk, and these circuit board type things to make it look technical. And then we start working on the all-important flying car landing point to give it some detail on the edges of the build and not just to be entirely singular. Then I build a sign saying like or lick because I spelled it incorrectly. For the signs, what you'll see for this next one is I plan out the thing in light, but then to make it in light blocks, but then to make it stand out more, I put tinted glass around the light blocks because it makes them look brighter and it stand out more. So we've finished all the detailing in the tower and it came out looking really nice. We've got some shading, some texturing going on, and a bunch of details just slapped on everywhere. We've got antenna, we've got piping, we've got random plating, we've got signs, we've got more signs, we've got more signs, we've got light up areas because lights, yes! We've got circuitry piping down here, we've got an entrance with some benches because city. We've got air ventilation. We've got a wart on the top. We've got a little what are they called? We got little flying car, yes, landing over here. We've got a giant bay door that can't be opened because it's blocks. I mean, Impulse could definitely open it, but if you couldn't tell from building all of this, I am not in the redstone talented group of people. So we're just gonna leave that to our imaginations and move on to the rest of the city. I know it's a lot of black and yellow, and it gets a little sick because it's all the same one color. Yes! But we're gonna move on to some other things right now. But first, one quick thing to point out. Letters are really hard to make with 3 blocks. That's just the best I could do, and I forgot the S in the subscribe, so we're going with subscribe, and there is no E. So, lick and subscribe, people. Now, I did promise you guys a city, and one build is not a city, so we're moving on to the rest. I'm just gonna slap down like 4 or 5 more builds, maybe 3 if I'm feeling tired, and we will move on. Pick it at a time-lapse, editor me. Okay, now to move on to some of the other buildings. For these next couple ones, I want to change up the colors, because this first one is all gray and yellow. So the next one, we're starting off gray. But I do change up the highlight colors, the lights, that's not all gray. We use purple for this one. So the windows are purple, little side details are purple, and then because it's cyberpunk, we throw some antennas. Well, not on this building, but on this next one, we throw antennas on it. This next one, I'm changing it up. I'm just gonna cut it down the middle. We're gonna put a hole in this one, and it's gonna be all unique and different. This one's gonna be blue. We have a nice elevator in the front. I put some walls behind it to make it stand out. We got another sign. Yay, so cool. An antenna. We have our 2 towers. These are a lot smaller to make this one look a lot bigger and more impressive when you're looking at it from afar. I made another lick sign, and we changed up the colors and the shaping a little bit just to make it a little different. I also built this tube right here, which is supposed to be like an elevator, but because cyberpunk is supposed to be like a janky future thing where they have all these cool technologies, but only some of it works, and they just spammed lights everywhere. That's how I sort of view cyberpunk. This elevator doesn't actually work. It's just a tube, and that's my excuse. So now I need to add a couple more buildings, because even though this looks really cool right now, it's 3 buildings, it's not a city. Also, the height variation is terrible, because there's only 2 buildings and each of them are the same height. Okay, hopping straight into building, but this one's a different color, because different and yay and cool and details. But seriously, tell me what you guys think of this different style of editing with the in-between cuts with in-person me. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys like it at all, or if you want me to go back to not telling anything except in editing. I don't know, I'm okay with whatever. For this one, we're doing some red detailing, which is why I thought maybe having a black background would be cool, just make it dark. Because red is a sort of darker color, and having a black building surrounding it would kind of make it okay. Then we move on to this other one, which I wanted to make floating, because I don't really have a good reason. I just wanted to make it floating. We even have a diagonal sign on this one. There's nothing on the sign, but it's diagonal. And then to show that it's floating, giant engine that spews green particles because this building is green. Even a sub sign. Yeah, so now we have the main portion of our build done, but we're missing an interior. Cyberpunk is all about the future, and you know what the future is on? The internet. So we need to build the internet in Minecraft. So I'm gonna quickly set up a little interior in one of these, and we're gonna add in the internet. Done. I'd like to thank you all for helping me reach the milestone of 68 subscribers at the time of recording. I did some research, and it turns out that when Technoblade was 10 years old, he only had 50 subscribers. So I have crushed a 10-year-old. like under my feet. I've got 18 more subscribers than him. He's only got a measly 50, and I've got 68. Take that. And he can't even fight back, 'cause he's dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Anyways, please subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. And if while you're down there, please lick the like button. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you could smash that subscribe button, that would help me out a ton. And while you're down there, hit that lick button as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe!
Oh my goodness, making fun of Technoblade? This guy, he's horrible. I'm unsubscribing.